Welcome to day 4 of the Shropshire Way here in Ludlow. And we've had a bit of time this morning to look around the town a little bit and see some of the great buildings and little alleyways and nooks and crannies and details that are here. It's great. Anything else?
Cold at the moment.
Cold.
Yeah, and can't wait to get moving.
Okay.
Yeah, croissant, orange juice, good to go.
Greg's. We've been to Greg's. He's trying to be polite, but we've been to Greg's. Right, come on, enough waffle. Morning. Right, scrum down. Well, this is day 4 of our Shropshire Way, and it's actually now late May. We took a break and got off the trail at Ludlow at the end of day 3 because of the bogginess and the muddiness of the ground, and also the weather that was coming in. There was a big strong storm coming in, 2 days of heavy rain, and we thought we're not really looking forward to that very much. And also those conditions led us to cut sections out of the trail and miss parts of it, and we didn't want to do that either, you know. So plus a couple of little ailments which always come along, don't they, on big trails, and we decided to pause the trail there and wait for better weather. It's now 2 months later, the sun has joined us and actually the ground is a lot firmer, and we've already seen that so far, even just in the short section from Ludlow this morning. So things are looking good. We're both well up for a long day today, and the first destination is Tittersone Clee Hill. I can see it now, and it's about another 6 or 7 miles. About 2 miles in or so, and we've reached the top of our first hill. It's Canham Camp, an old hill fort, but not as dramatic or as pronounced as Berry Ditch is earlier in the hike. You can just faintly see the banks of the old fort here on top, and the way ahead. So we're on opposite sides of the stream. You're going swimming. Hang on, you go down that way.
Yeah.
And I've still got to cross the bridge. Gotta put on a show for the camera, haven't you? We're on top of Tittersone Clee Hill. A steady climb, not too steep, but good gradient. All those old quarry workings down below, loads of industrial structures, quite ugly. I don't know why they haven't knocked them all down, but they're probably listed buildings or something. And also on the other side of the hill, all those telecommunications towers. It's not the most attractive summit, to be honest, but the view makes up for it, and we're almost there. Break time. Shoes and socks off break time, and you can see behind me there my walking poles. There's my socks drying off. Wet feet. That was a good climb to the top, and now we're on the north side of the hill because the wind's coming from behind us from the south, so we're out of most of the wind with a great view of the next summit, Brown Clee Hill, the highest point in Shropshire. And I can let my feet dry off and have a sandwich. Cheese and mustard, by the way. On the way again, steeply down the other side of the Clee Hill. But it's nice and dry, so much better than it was back in March. We're making good progress. Looking back where we've just come from on top, nice walk down actually. And on we go, and here's the man himself. How's it going today, Adam?
I'm enjoying this a lot. Yeah, very much.
It's much better, isn't it, than March? It's so much drier underfoot.
Makes a huge difference, the going underfoot. Yeah.
Yeah, I think, well, look at this section here, just this gate here now. It's a bit soft, but it's, you know, it's not the sloppy mud fest that it was.
No,
and so we're
toboggan through what we had to face back in March.
Yeah, we're skipping through those sections which were muddy, I suspect, here today. 2 months ago. We're skipping through quite quick, aren't we?
Yeah.
So we keep on going.
Close to clay.
You watch, there'll be loads of mud round the corner. We've got loads of daylight today. It gets dark at about 10 o'clock at the moment, being late May, and so we've got very much more light than we had in the first half of the trail. So we're just taking it easy. We're targeting about 2 miles an hour, that's all, which includes breaks and stuff, so that we can just walk and walk and walk. We started about 8 in the morning. We're going to do at least 12 hours walking, maybe a bit more, and see how far we can get today but without doing ourselves a mischief. The next 2 days are going to be wet as well, so every mile we do today in this good weather reduces how much we have to do in the wet in the coming days. So that's the reason for all that. And what a beautiful day. It's wonderful. Nearly at the summit, last few steps. Made it! Brown Clee Hill, the highest point in Shropshire. That's about 15 miles today, so that's pretty good going. Actually, it's only taken us 2 hours to get from Tittersone Clee Hill to this one, which was a bit down and lots of muddy lanes. Mud. It wasn't as bad as before, but it was steep and slippy and hard work. So to do it in just 2 hours, we're quite pleased with that. Adam, by the way, didn't come up to the summit. He's just down having a rest with his boots and socks off again down there. And I left my rucksack with him, so I'm going to go and join him and have a good rest shortly. But this tarn here, right at the summit in front of me, this was going to be a potential camp spot for tonight. But because the weather's so good and the next 5 miles are all downhill, we're going to push on and look at some options down there. What a view, beautiful Shropshire. Right, we're about a mile off the top of the hill. The sun has come out again. It's a beautiful day. And we've got about another 4 miles still of going downhill, mostly. So we're looking forward to that. And what's at the end of that?
That's a good question. Some fields, I suspect.
There's a pub, isn't there?
Oh right, yes. Well, there's always a pub.
There's always a pub. It's, you know, it's just whether or not you should stop, and you know, that's a conundrum for all hikers, isn't it? Anyway,
a brace of pints.
A brace of pints. Oh, it's tempting. Quite thirsty. I've run out of water nearly, so I mean, might as well replace it with beer, eh?
Guinness, yeah.
Looking back to the top of Brown Clee Hill there in the distance. We've come down and up to here. What are they feeding the ducks around here? Right, bit of an update. We've done 20 miles. We went to the pub, the 7 Stars, and it was closed. at 7:30 on a Saturday night, bank holiday Saturday in late May. Couldn't figure that one out. Closed, so there was outdoor toilets, thankfully. We managed to use those, fill up our water bottles, and sat in the beer garden for 20 minutes and just had a break. And we did toy with the idea of pitching our tents in the beer garden because there was no one around, but it was right next to a main road, and we thought there was a high chance that sooner or later somebody would come and move us on, you know. So we keep going, and it's about 1.5 miles, maybe a bit more, to Wilderhope Manor Youth Hostel, which, just like the one in Clun, doesn't take bookings anymore. It's only for private parties of people, but we might be able to get in, you know, and make a cup of tea or something. And there's more trees up that way, so we might be able to find a wild camping spot. So the day continues. It's now just gone 8 o'clock. We've been going just over 12 hours. We're pretty tired. 22 miles. We're both tired. We've pitched in the corner of this grassy field. There's no cattle, no sheep, no flies, no people and no buildings. So we're obviously quite late. It's about 9 o'clock now. Still light. And a bit of food, and then it won't be long before I'm really zonked out. Come on then, let's go and say hello to Adam.
Cheers. This is Jim Beam cherry bourbon.
I thought you said you weren't bringing whiskey.
It's bourbon. I'll tell the truth.
Yeah,
So
I'll believe you.
Single malt. I went American.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'll remember
because it
that.
was an offer in the big Tesco.
Oh well, you okay? Perfectly legitimate.
And there's only 200 ml in there.
That's enough for tonight, though. What about
Yeah,
tomorrow?
yeah. Find a shop.
So that's our pitch. The grass is very long. It's a bit damp, but it's not bad really, you know. And it's very soft underneath. So that's where we're laying our heads tonight. Tomorrow we go up there. I don't know if you can make that out, but that's Wilderhope Manor Youth Hostel, a grand old building, and it's not far, as you can see, 1/4 mile or so, and then along Wenlock edge to Much Wenlock. But that's for tomorrow. See you tomorrow.